prisoner of war camps were actually very different. They were specifically for prisoners of war. They were not like concentration camps. So that was the most important thing, that they were all soldiers at these camps. There are actually over 100 of them in Germany and surrounding areas alone, and over 100,000 US soldiers were actually imprisoned at these camps throughout the time of the war. They were typically transported by train, but then towards the end of the war, as German infrastructure was falling apart and they didn't have the money, the American soldiers were actually made to walk. So you have these awful stories of soldiers being captured at a battlefield and then being forced to march so like dozens and dozens of miles, sometimes hundreds of miles, to get to the camps. As a soldier, you would probably get your dog tags taken away once you got to the camp, which was, your dog tag is your sense of identity and your connection to your country and who you are. So they would oftentimes get that taken away. So traditionally, prisoners of war are exchanged at the end of the war, usually through negotiations or peace negotiations. But World War II is very different. Because the Germans did not want to hand over their prisoners of war, what they ended up doing, as they knew they were losing, they began consolidating their prison camps, essentially. So they began moving US troops and British troops and their Russian troops further and further into the heart of Germany. So it made it a lot harder for these countries to reclaim their men. However, 1 month later, by May 1945, almost every single American prisoner of war was back in American hands, and that was because of the US's policy of what they called recapturing. And essentially what they did is they went through and recaptured every single American that had been taken by the Nazis. And this is very unique. Most wars you don't see countries working to liberate their own troops, but that's exactly how this was done.